with your hosts, Killer Keemstar and FaZe Banks.
You can find me in the heart of the city. You can tell me that I could have done more. You can show me why I'm here, what I'm feeling. All I know is all I know.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome to Mom's Basement. It's your host with the most, Keemstar, and the one, the only, FaZe Banks. And today, listen, on last episode, we broke the internet. We're going to keep breaking the internet because we have one of the most controversial figures and talented figures of all of YouTube. I'm telling you, she's got some talent. We're talking about the one, the only, Gabbie Hanna.
Wait, am I at the point where I start getting introduced as a controversial, one of the most controversial figures?
Well, you are.
Oh,
In like the tea community, right?
Yeah.
That's so embarrassing.
I don't really keep up with that shit. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, is she one of the most controversial?
I don't
Well,
know how controversial I am.
the
As
tea
much
community,
as I'm just hated.
the tea community bullies the ever living crap out of you. I hate them.
Yeah.
He was
Well, the
sticking up for
articles
you.
always call me controversial too. He does stick up for me.
He was sticking up for you hardcore on
Yeah.
the podcast we just did with Trisha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on the podcast with Trisha.
He said
Yes.
he thinks you're the most misunderstood person on the internet.
Thanks, dude.
She really is, because no one takes the time to actually understand you. In fact, if we could talk about talent for 2 seconds, everybody that listens to this podcast understands that FaZe Banks has an actual eye for art and understands art. And I was telling him that you paint, and I was like, you have to see this or whatever. Jaw C, my girlfriend, basically came over and she had a picture of your art and showed Banks. And he's like, that's fucking kind of tight.
It was nice.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, you are definitely a creative.
Thank
Cool.
you. I appreciate that. Like a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
I really, really do. Oh my God. Okay. Thank you for sucking my dick at the beginning of this. It really was.
Fuck yeah. How's life?
Dude, I don't know even how to answer that question because I feel like I don't even know from day to day because some days I'm just like flying through and feeling super sorry. And then there's days where I just want to hurl myself off a fucking cliff. So who knows?
I feel that retweet.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. It's chill though. I'm just trying to like, I read this thing recently that was like, are your actions right now like setting you up for the future you want or just an escape from the life you're trying to leave?
Yeah.
And I've just been trying to focus more so on just like the art and the music and stuff I actually care about as opposed to trying to escape the fucking scandals that I'm always in, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. The internet really is a fucking drug. Like, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
when it's good, it's so fucking good. When it's
Yeah.
bad, it's so bad. It amplifies every emotion, everything you're feeling by fucking, tenfold. It's amazing, but at the same time, just miserable.
When was the
I
last time you
love
took a break?
the internet. Listen,
You just told me fucking 2 weeks ago that you're gonna quit the internet.
Yeah. But I only want to quit the internet to do some manual labor stuff, which I do. And I wanted to just take a vacation. I'm in a new relationship, whatever. I got to go on a vacation, have a little break,
You're cracking off more now on vacation than you have all year.
We're
You're going
trying
crazy.
Today, we filmed Trisha Paytas and Gabbie Hanna the same day, posted pictures with both of them.
Not gonna expose you.
The internet is reacting to it like wildly, insanely. It's awesome. Ethan Klein tweeted out that he goes, I don't want to make a joke about this, talking about Trisha. He goes, I'm not even going to try to make a joke about this. I'm just sad. And it's so funny because he's not sad. He's literally playing victim, trying to get his fans to defend him. He's
I
paying
don't think he's sad. Man.
he's mad. It's MAD, red face emoji. That's
Do you think
all.
he's even mad though, or is he just playing the game in general?
Oh, no. At this point,
he's
he's
mad.
definitely mad.
Yeah.
Really?
He's pissed, yeah.
Dude, I fucking hate having drama. Here's my thing with my drama is I'm always in it, which is so fucking annoying. And I never want to be a part of it, but people won't leave me the fuck alone.
I feel you.
And I try so hard not to engage, but then it's just like, oh shit. I remember my manager came over, and this is after maybe a year and a half of me just ignoring everything. And I'm trying to sit there all the time, no, I don't fucking respond to petty drama. And he was like, I think it's time. It was right after the Bianca situation.
Yeah.
And he was like, I think it's past the point of ignoring it. I think you have to say something, but now it's now I'm forever tied to people that I want nothing to fucking do with.
I
So
feel you.
annoying.
That's the problem. And then you get all that new viewership, but it's the worst kind of viewership. It's
Yeah.
these motherfuckers are just looking for the next
Right.
story, the next scandal. It's fucking trash.
Yeah.
Ethan specifically, I do my very best to avoid drama too at all costs. I hate having grudges. I hate having long-term issues and beefs with people. So much so that my fucking arch nemesis, Jake Paul, I've made peace with him. You know what I mean? We're on good terms and we talk. more often than people probably think we do.
And I never understood that until recently. Like, I really do get you. You're like, I want no enemies.
Man. It's just exhausting.
But that's what I want too, but nobody lets me live that life.
Also,
like,
well, the reason why I made peace with Trisha is, right, like, I don't have room. First of all, I don't really hate her. And also, I don't have room in my heart. Like there's a small part of your heart for enemies. You can't just throw a bunch of people in there.
I want zero. I don't want any. Like, why are these people my enemies? Because they're obsessed with me. It's so fucking annoying. Like, leave me alone.
Why don't you try to reach out to the T channels and try to make peace?
I've talked to all of them. They're fake little fucking pathetic losers where they're like, oh my God, we're so sorry. And then like the second another story turns and they're just on it. But I'm not even talking about the T channels. They're losers. They're tabloids. I don't care. I'm talking about like other creators who just make stories with me and create drama. And it's like, I don't even fucking know you, dude.
I feel you. I don't know if you can relate so much to this, but specifically with the Jake Paul thing, it's like
that was crazy.
Yeah, it was so crazy. You dislike a person so much, and like the healthy thing to do, the right thing to do is try to avoid that person and try not to spend your time or energy on that person, because all it's going to do is fucking fuck your shit up even more.
Absolutely.
And when you have such a public fucking beef and an issue with somebody, I'm getting tagged in everything the fucking kid's doing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like everything. Look, even and it even got so like to the point where like people are tweeting me, yo, look at this L Jake just took. And I'm like, dude, I'm over it. Like, I'm overseeing it. Like, and people think that's what I want and want to like fucking participate in, but it's exhausting, man. And truthfully, I don't fucking hate the kid. I never did. In a different world, we probably would have worked together on things or even been friends in a weird way. You know what I mean? And just all it was I dated a girl that he used to date, and you know what I mean? Prime fuckboy Jake Paul time where like he's stirring shit up and trying to pull views wherever he can because he's uploading vlogs every day, and I just got fucking dragged into some whack shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I totally feel that, but I also like really understand as you explain it that I am really built different. Like, I need enemies. Like,
you are literally built so fucking different, dude.
I need enemies.
Want peace. I don't want fucking attention. I want peace. Like,
I want to constantly be at war with someone. You know, it's a motivation, right? It's like, I'm going to prove you wrong.
dude,
I'm going to show you
energy.
I don't know, dude.
Well, I fucking run a show about drama. That's why.
Well, no, I literally wake up and I like leap out of bed and I'm like, I pace around the house. Like, I just have energy, like crazy fucking energy. I don't know where it comes from.
You've always been like that.
Yeah.
It's real. You've always, as long as I've known you, as long as I've watched you, you've always fucking been that guy.
Yeah.
I was actually really surprised to find out Kima's such a kind person.
I tell everybody this and nobody ever believes me.
It's crazy. Well, because
I'm like, you got to kick it with the dude in person. He's just actually a real person.
100%.
He's fucking cuckoo, but we're all nuts.
He has ADHD and dyslexia. Like, he's all over the place.
Like, he's like, he's got it. I've seen him when nobody's watching. You know what I mean? I've seen him be a good dude. Like,
yeah. Well, I said this on a different podcast. I'll say it on this one because you're here. But whenever I was like going through some shit online, like of all the internet creators, all my friends, like my quote unquote friends, like they're unfollowing me, they're taking jabs on Twitter. And Keemstar of all people is the person who's reaching out being like, are you okay? I just want to check in on you. Like, don't do anything crazy. Like, if you need anything, I'm here. Call me whenever.
And it's so weird that it's him that's doing that because you just wouldn't on paper.
Because he's real.
I just don't like how you guys say this publicly because like I've worked so hard to have this reputation as being this like evil villain, and you can't like really tell people about my private life like this.
No, I think people should know because that's the thing. Everyone's like, oh, we want genuine, we want authentic. And it's like, no, you want somebody who's going to sit there and smile in your face and manipulate and be like, I'm such a good person.
Well, that's how you can always gauge who your actual friends are. Your friends are people who will talk shit to your face, call you out on your shit, but when you're not there, behind your back, they speak highly of you and champion you and all that shit. And that's really what Keem is. Like, that's who he is. You know what I'm saying? I'm always in this position where I feel like, and not to like toot our own horns, but I feel like we really are so real and we are good guys. Yeah. But we just don't give a fuck enough to like pander and pretend and like, you know what I mean? It's misconstrued sometimes as like us being fucking, when really, in reality, it's just us being unfiltered.
I mean,
you know
look at
I see that.
Ethan, sorry to go back to Ethan, but like Ethan, his whole shtick is to pretend that he is the good guy. Like in every scenario, like I'm better than everyone. I'm good.
I was really let down by Ethan because I tried to give him like the benefit of the doubt that he was kind of just manipulated by Trisha into saying, I don't know how much you know about it, but like he like just platformed like a lot of like mental abuse and like slander and shit. And I was like, okay, well, he has Trisha in his ear and they're friends, so I get it. But then after Trisha went on to fucking say he was like sexually harassing her and basically doing to him what she'd been doing to me for 2 years, he still went on to like talk shit about me online. Like I asked him, hey, you see what it is now. Let me come defend myself on the same platform that you sent millions of people.
We
just talked about this. Same thing happened to Banks.
The first negative fucking experience I ever had with H3, and this is a guy that I was a huge fan of. Old H3. I'm talking OG Vape Nation H3. Me and the Phase Boys used to fucking gather around in the living room and watch this dude. And I've never taken away from Ethan's like genius or like his talent.
Well, allegedly, the Vape Nation meme he stole from Filthy Frank. Maybe, but just everything that he's done the internet thing the right way in terms of building a brand, building a presence, and sticking around for a long time. Because a lot of people come up, have a little blow up, and then fizzle out. That's typically the pop off. You know what I'm saying? He's existed for a very fucking long time, and I have to appreciate that. But when all this Jake Paul shit happened, I've told the fucking story a million times, but for you, because it's so similar to what you just said, he platformed Jake, had him on his fucking show. Jake was supposed to hit 10 million subscribers that day. They had the fucking live count and everything. I responded in such a quick fashion, in such like a fucking like immediate like proof in your face fashion. Like I did not do this. I don't know if you remember, but Jake. I remember it. And then they accused me of fucking physically assaulting a girl. And I like literally proved it to not be true. So this kid's losing subscribers, whatever. But fucking H3's on the podcast talking about this shit as if it's matter of fact. Like
that's what he did
I can't believe Banks would do something like that. What a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, I can't believe this. So then it all comes out and even further proof, like all the way down to like the security footage of the fucking nightclub. I was never even in arm's reach of this girl. Yeah. Never even was close enough to give her a hug, let alone fucking. And honestly, me being me too, I wake up after a drunk night. I'm a big goofy fucking mess. I'm like, shit, like, is it possible that I got drunk?
Dude, that's gaslighting. That's fucking gaslighting
I'm
right there.
flailing my arms around,
100%.
dancing. Like honestly, the way I responded.
You kept saying to me, you kept saying to me on the phone because we were trying to figure it out. Yeah. You're like, I was having fun last night. Like maybe I like accidentally elbowed her.
Dude, I was like, maybe I did.
I give everyone the benefit of the doubt, even if it's at my detriment.
And that's what fired me up even more, because I did wake up with that. I did like feel almost sorry. I'm texting Nick Crompton like, dog, all I can guarantee you is I did not maliciously hurt anybody. If I fucking elbowed some poor little girl, I am so fucking sorry. Right. Yeah. And to think that I would like target her because she is fucking Jake Paul's assistant, that's crazy, and that's not true, and I will do anything that I can to prove that. So whatever came
of that, like who made up the lie, Jake or the girl?
Still
no, Jake came to the conclusion that the girl was making a story up and let her go and fired her.
I actually believe it, because that girl lost everything. She lost her job with him. When you put a person in that position, what the fuck is stopping her from pulling up the receipts and saying, no, Jake knows a little bit more about this than he's leading on to believe, you know what I mean?
NDAs or something?
I do fucking NDA, honestly. When it comes to that, it's like, throw that shit out the window. Like, you're fighting, like, it's life or death at that point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. This girl, like, I don't know. I think that it was a situation where she was trying to maybe get in more good graces with them. They're all really young. They're fucking, you know what I mean? It's like, I got a video for you, and this kid, I know you don't like him, like feeling like she's doing something good. Right. Maybe trying to get some attention. I fucking don't know. I couldn't tell you. All I was interested in, because this shit was about to get legal. I sat down and I sat down with a mitigator. Is that
litigator?
A mediator. Mediator. I got those two words. I combined them. Yeah. But with him, and honestly, it came to the point where I was like, honestly, bro, I'm not going to sue you for any money, whatever. The internet knows that I'm right, and that's all I could have ever asked for. Right. But and he's fucking apologized a million times for that shit. Like, we're good.
But the point is you tried to go on Ethan.
I DM'd Ethan. I'm like, dog, like I have a fucking serious issue with this shit. I still have the DMs. I'm like, homie, you fucking broadcasted this shit to hundreds of thousands of people live, and all they heard was you guys talk about how much of a piece of shit I am and talk about this as if it's a matter of fact. Whether you have me on the show, I don't give a fuck to be on the show.
And Ethan was like, audience. Ethan goes, exactly, that's the point. Ethan told him like, oh, I felt like you defended yourself well. Yeah, but Ethan and Banks are so different creators. They don't have the same fans.
I think everybody knows the truth now. I think you're good. It's like, well, dude, homie, you could give me the courtesy of being like, hey, I'm an asshole and I fucked up. I'm sorry. He didn't even do that. And I let it slide. And through the years, like, I've never had a problem with this dude. I've never fucking fired shots at this dude. And obviously, when the death of or the
Etika.
the nuke, the content nuke with
Yeah.
Keemstar, that's one of my fucking best friends. I'm obviously gonna offend my boy. This dude has always, and you've seen it too, more
When
than
I
anyone.
saw
He has
Content Nuke-
targeted and attacked me based solely on my friendship with Keem.
That's what
he does to
I've
me
never even
too.
done anything.
In
to
the
this guy.
contact nuke that Ethan made on me, every single one of those stories had a misleading twist to it, or was a
Dude,
deliberate
that's the
lie.
story of my
Every
fucking
single
life.
one.
You don't got to tell me, dude.
Yeah.
But I wasn't even. I don't know how much we had even spoken whenever that came out. But like we definitely weren't like friends or anything.
Yeah, definitely not.
And I liked Ethan way more than I liked Keem when that came out. And even I watched that and I was like, what the fuck is going on with like like you can't use this story of somebody committing suicide as a way to attack
I
somebody.
think that's the tweet I put out. That
I
went,
really,
it's so
I
disgusting.
really don't want to talk about it, but like,
we don't have to, but that's made me
I'll
sick,
say
dude.
one
Made
thing,
me
like,
fucking sick.
me and Etika had like a private like relationship, and you know what I mean? Like just like I do with everyone, you know, I talk to fucking everyone. Like people
Literally.
see something online and they think that's reality, but like
Yeah, I just can't imagine like writing that, sitting down, editing it. I don't know, man.
well, he wants to deplatform me. That's his like dream, is like to get rid of me, but I'm not going anywhere
Yeah.
ever.
yeah,
Well,
you really aren't.
Not only did he platform so much fucking bullshit about me.
What he did to you was horrible.
I know, dude. And like,
So what exactly was it? Because all I know about your guys' thing was award for the biggest meltdown
well,
or
dude,
something.
that fucking sucked just because like as much as you pretend to give a fuck about mental health, like I'm extremely mentally ill. I'm pretty open about
Yeah.
it. So like to joke around and be like, oh, let's give her, maybe she'll come accept the award. Like, fuck you, dude. But like, there was this, Trisha was doing her own thing. Nobody really takes her that seriously, but I was still going, like, she was going hard. She literally convinced people that I was like stalking her and obsessed with her. It was so fucking absurd. So then she's doing that on her own. And then they do a podcast together. And I don't know how many episodes there were, but like just allowing her to go on and like doing literal segments about me. So now this whole audience, Trisha gets like 100,000 views on her own. These podcasts are getting like 2-3 million views. Whole new audience that just think Gabbie Hanna, psycho, stalker, obsessive, dramatic. And you're not going to let me come fucking say my piece. You're not going to let me say my side. But whenever fucking David Dobrik's getting canceled, you're going to fucking follow me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
'cause they want me
he
to come
uses
on.
people.
I know. They want me to come on and talk about David Dobrik. You're literally, David Dobrik called me fat in a vlog in 2016 and you need to come tell your story. Meanwhile, Trisha Paytas is sitting right next to you saying that I'm like a deluge crazy stalker and like you're going to let that
It's
fly.
that Banks talked about
Bullshit.
this on the Trisha episode, is how he literally caters to the audience, his opinions and everything he does. And I don't want this whole
1000%.
podcast to be
No,
about
no.
fucking Ethan. Obviously,
This
we'd
is
like
my
to talk
first
about
time talking about it, so
we would rather talk about Gabbie and like what you got going on, right? But to just button this up, like, you know, his opinions are fake. I mean, he literally was calling me a creepy motherfucker for dating a 20-year-old. And 3 years ago, Boogie's 44 years old, literally 5 years older than me, dating a 20-year-old. And he's like bro fisting him like, yeah, you do your thing. She's legal, blah, blah, blah. What is this, dude? I don't know how he has genuine fans. I don't get it.
Well, I mean, because people don't, like, for example, if you don't know me and you're just like watching this story and you're like, oh, what a funny story. There's this like crazy psycho girl on the internet. Like, you don't care. Those genuine fans aren't coming over to see what's Gabbie. Oh, she's just like a painter.
No one, no normal.
House of cards, though, at the end of the day, like when you build that type of community and you put yourself on this like moral high ground, you can do no wrong. Your takes are always fucking on point. Everything you say is fucking, you know what I mean? Set in stone, the fucking fact, the truth. When you do that, when you fuck up, bro, they're not going to let you fucking forget about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when he really runs into something, and I'm sure he will, it's going to be fucking bad.
I genuinely don't give a fuck about that, though. I never have thought, like, when I hate calling them my enemies because I feel like it gives them too much place in my life. But I've never thought, oh, I hope they fucking crash and burn. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
of
care if
course.
Ethan crashes and burns because, like, his
No, I
life
don't
doesn't
either.
affect
I
mine.
don't. I
I
really
just want to
don't.
be left alone.
Yeah, I agree.
Just like, give me fucking peace or let me. If you're not going to let me come and defend myself on the platform that you fucking slandered me on and like push me to a fucking mental break, like they pushed me to a mental breakdown. And
They
then,
did.
And
I
then
was
joke
there. I
about
witnessed
giving
it.
me the award for a fucking mental breakdown.
I literally
Fuck
witnessed
you,
it.
you fucking
And you know,
cunt.
this is the same person that's saying that I take advantage of mental health and all this stuff, which look, I had bad takes. I get it. I understand that, right?
That's what I appreciate about you is that like you learned a lot from all
I
that.
say the same thing. We got in an argument about Twitter about mental health, but it wasn't an argument. Remember, you had a bad take, and then I tweeted at you. I was like, actually, like you're kind of wrong about this, and then we went back and forth, and then you reach out to me sometimes. You're like, hey, what do you think about this? People are coming at me about this, and like you actually do listen.
Yeah.
And it's just probably because somebody approached you respectfully and was like, you're so fucking stupid. How dare you disrespect it? Like people are so fucking up in arms. How about instead just being like, hey, actually, you're a little misinformed. And that makes sense because a lot of people don't understand mental health.
What's with this band anyway? I don't get it. Can you please explain? Wait, like bandsplain?
I'm Yasi Salek, and I'm the host of a new Spotify original show called Bandsplain, where I invite music experts to explain cult bands like Fish, Steely Dan, and the Insane Clown Posse, using a curated playlist to help you understand the hype. Listen to new episodes every week, only on Spotify.
Well, it's hard to be like a little insane like I am. And then like, you know what I mean? Like you get like so caught up in like what you believe in. Like I'm very over the top confident in what I do and what I say. So I'm constantly having to check myself and being like, okay, what do you think? What do you think? Like try to get everyone's opinion and see if that can somehow put a hole into my opinion.
Well, even to pull a little bit from my own like life experience, whenever anybody would try, when I was younger, whenever anybody would try to explain anxiety to me, I just didn't understand.
Same.
I just could not wrap my head around it. It's like, what? Like you're sad, you're nervous. Like what the fuck are you talking about? Like whatever. But like that sinking, like anxious feeling, I only had ever experienced true anxiety after all that shit that happened with me. Yeah. And going into the hospital and all that shit. And like,
you went to the hospital?
I did.
Like mental hospital?
I got 5150 like when? 6 years ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I lost my mind a little bit.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
You found it.
It's fine. Yeah. I mean, in the moment, it was the fucking, because it was really such a terrible hospital, terrible environment.
How old were you 6 years ago?
I think I was like, whoa, was I 23 or something?
Sounds right.
Did you try to kill yourself?
No, I didn't, but I was talking about it. I was talking about it, and honestly, I still don't even know if I meant it or I was just trying to get attention. I really don't.
The way I feel about that.
I wasn't sleeping at all.
Yeah.
I had slept like 3 or 4 hours in like fucking 10 days. And I was like starting to enjoy going crazy. I was seeing shit, hearing shit, fucking like thinking about things in a fucking crazy way.
But regardless, you needed help.
Absolutely.
So whenever you say like, oh, I don't know if it was attention or whatever, regardless, you're clearly crying out for help. To the point where you're like, I'm going to fucking kill myself. Whether you mean it, you're expressing a really deep,
and it gave me wild
pain.
amounts of fucking perspective on life. And just like, it's given me the ability to kind of check myself and slow down. I used to have like crazy outbursts and fits and be fucking angry at nothing. And now if I find myself getting to that point, I check myself. It's been way easier for me to be honest with myself since that. Like I said, worst moment of my life. It ruined 6 months of my life. I was fucking down, bad as I could ever be. And
how old were you? Sorry.
On the other side, 23 maybe, 22, 23. I came out the other side though, and it's made me such a better person. So it's weird.
No. It's so much bigger than that, Gabby. He was kicked out of FaZe Clan. He just got out of a mental hospital. He was sleeping on a fucking air mattress. I'm calling him every day just to make sure he's okay and everything's going. He's literally telling me, he goes, I miss living in a house with people. I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to fill it with other YouTubers and I'm going to live in a mansion. This is literally, when he's saying this to me, it's impossible. He has no money. He has nothing, right? He is literally down and out. He fucking pulls people together. He goes to LA. He moves into a fucking mansion and launches Clout Gang, like one of the biggest internet, like, dude, all these TikTokers today are literally copying this model and what you accomplish. And it's so fucking insane. FaZe, they weren't doing well at all at the time. And they literally needed you back. And you came back and built that up. Like,
well, that was a really important period for my life for sure, because I needed to prove to myself that I could fucking do it. I'm a firm believer in the fact that if you can accomplish something one time, you can repeat it and you can do it again. The fact that I was able to do that and overcome that shit and have them come back to me and say, all right, we think you're ready to fucking, be a part of this again. That's really all I ever wanted. That's all I ever wanted was my friends back, and fucking, it just gave me so much perspective. I didn't realize how good I had it until it was all stripped away from me. And it was a nice little pat on my back, like for myself, just like, you can fucking do this. You know what I mean? All you really do need is yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm constantly saying about your situation. Like, you get so much hate from these fucking T channels or whatever, but it's like, you're actually talented. All right. You send me the song, right? Her new album, Gabbie, Hanna. I play it in front of my girlfriend and her friends or whatever. They're going fucking insane. Like with this, can I say the name of the song?
Oh yeah, sure.
Sold My Soul. Like that song is a fucking hit. And I go and visit you at your fucking house, on this little LA trip that I'm on. And I look at your house and there's just art everywhere that you've done yourself. You've decorated your home. Like you're actually a fucking artist.
Thank you. I try to tell people all the time and they're like, if you're a real artist, you don't have to remind people. And I'm like, well, sometimes you have to fucking do that, I guess.
Yeah.
Just like that. What I'm always saying it in the way, not like I'm an artist. I'm saying it like, dude, I don't care about YouTube. Like I'm not trying to be a YouTuber. I don't care about YouTube drama. I'm just trying to like do my artist shit, and nobody will just let me like live.
So why do you think that is? Not to fuck up the vibe, and I do like to look at things from like a what's the word? Just like rationally. You know what I mean?
Like objective.
2 plus 2. Yeah, 2 plus 2 is 4. It's like, what do you think the reason is for that? Because even on the Trisha episode, I was just like, I kind of like played devil's advocate with you, and I was like, well, how do you really know that this is what she means? How do you really know that this is how shit's gone down? In my opinion, because I've been there too, like where it seems like everybody in my fucking world is against me, and I'm fighting against them and whatever. And it's like, if it's fucking everybody in every situation, you find yourself in this cycle and the same shit. At some point, don't you have to look in the mirror and ask, what the fuck, what am I doing to create this shit?
Do you remember my song Monster? That was one that got memed.
Yeah.
So I wrote that song.
Can you recreate it? Because it's so funny.
Dude, can I say, okay, remind me on that, but I want to tell you how like iconic I feel about this. Because you know how I did this like whole series on YouTube because I was like, I just need to feel free. I need to stop holding my tongue, whatever. For the first time since all of that, I was like on live stream. I was just like smoking, dancing to MCR, like vibing out. And then somebody was like, sing Monster. And I was like, I really like haven't since 2018 because I've been like avoiding it like for my life. And I was just like, am I really going to try this right now in front of all of these people on live stream? And I did it and just like hit it consistently.
Well,
I
don't think people know.
Yeah, like I got my confidence back in that moment. You know what I mean?
I don't think people know. Like Genius fucked up and like had the mic levels fucked up.
But I also sounded like shit.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like it was both 100%. But the reason it sounded so strange is because they cut in between mics. But the reason they cut in between mics is because I overshot the note so much.
Oh.
So like I sounded bad, but like they made it way worse. You know what I mean?
And they're a business too, right? Like they're not dumb. They know like what makes for a fucking viral clip.
And that went viral.
They got their fucking logo on the screen. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
But actually, speaking of Monster, I feel like that actually is a real answer that I probably wouldn't have said otherwise. Is I think the reason it happens because everything, even like the Rice Gum shit, like the hate wasn't crazy like that. Like,
yeah, no, it wasn't that.
It
deep.
was like it was more of the way the internet reacted was the thing that hurt my feelings about it. Like the music video hurt my feelings, talking about my stretch marks, like making fun of my nose, like shit like that. It wasn't the shit that happened at the party. So like there wasn't like a ton of hate, but then this Monster meme happens and I kind of like play into it. And I was honestly, I thought it was funny. Like I had tweeted before, I've always wanted to be a meme. I was really leaning into it. Like I know I can sing, like I know I'll have other opportunities. But then because it was so viral, all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, what about this scandal? Oh, well, she doesn't hang out with these people anymore. Oh, well, now we're going to accuse her of this. And then it just like over the years, it's been this pile-on of people who were my friends.
I can't stand it. The internet has not been fair to you.
Do you believe
Point blank period.
Do you believe that when you invite that energy into your life, it only makes it easier for more of that to come into your life? Does that make sense? What I just said?
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously...
Like when you focus on negative things, like you're walking straight, like physically walking around. If you're looking down, you're naturally just like going down. You know what I'm saying? You're looking up, your chest puffed out, like you're going up. I don't know. It's weird, but like...
you are 100% right. It's a lifelong battle with me, which I'm thankfully this past year or so really understanding as I'm getting to the root of myself and really kind of like finding my confidence, because I feel like for the first 25 years of my life, I was living in a constant state of having to be defensive. And like I've grown up with just like criticism. So I don't respond well to criticism. And I was always raised to fight.
Yeah.
So like I've never been taught to just like be like, okay, what can I do better? How should I react? It's always like, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
So now I'm getting to the point of like, okay, let me try to focus on some other shit. Obviously therapy helps. Treating ADHD helps a ton with like the rejection sensitivity dysphoria aspect of it. But yeah, like I think there's a reason people pick on me, and I think it's because I'm so reactive.
I think the internet in a way has bullied you to make great music, because your first songs, your first songs that were very, very popular, right? I think maybe they were popular because you were Gabbie Hanna, a very well-known household name, popular YouTuber.
They're not trash. They're not great.
But your music now is it's like real emotion. It's like it's real. You know,
it opened me up.
Yeah,
I always say it. Like if you watch my side channel, I talk about just the shit I've kind of come to like the realization, whatever. And everything that happened, it was so painful. And obviously there was a huge ego death that has to happen with that.
Yeah, for sure.
I was like, I didn't even realize who I was, to be honest. And now looking back, and when I meet these younger kids where they're like, oh my God, you're Gabbie Hanna, like you were one of the first social media influencers. I'm like, oh my God, like you see me like that.
Yeah.
Because I never saw it. So now being at this place where I feel so like small and, you know, I'm a joke. Like it's so hard to.
You're not a joke. That's so sad.
To a lot of kids I am though. Like, and I know that that's not forever. And I know I can turn that around. But if I would have remained popular, like I look at the people who will just like make an expose about me because their views are low. And I'm like, oh my God.
Well, that's what
I was
it
so
is.
close to being that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In social media, being a YouTuber or whatever, you got to take hits. You have to take big dives, right?
Yeah.
Like there's been 2 moments in my career where like motherfuckers really tried to cancel me and I took quite the hit, right? Every time I bounce back stronger, every single fucking time I've been way better, way smarter, fucking my content's better. Everything about me is fucking better. You have to take hits.
Well, that's the thing about the fucking internet and social media. Like people make you feel so bad about just simply learning. You know what I mean?
100%,
Like getting things wrong, and there's just shit that you just can't come back from.
Yeah, but
like,
I don't give credit to these people.
You kill somebody, you know what I mean, or something in that fucking category. It's like, okay, homie, like that was your one shot. Sorry, but we can't fuck with you.
I think the thing
society.
with me too that made it so hard is like I felt like everything felt so personal because it wasn't just, oh, I'm getting hate online. It was like, oh, I'm getting hate online, but because this person's so much more popular than me, none of my friends back me. And then,
that's
like,
whack. Those aren't your friends.
Yeah, because they're not your friends.
Yeah.
Dude, this city, LA, so many fake fucking people. Like the new drama that you were in where you were talking about, you know, you being a bitch or whatever at the, what was that? The
Escape the Night.
Escape the Night. Like she admittedly was like a bitch on the set, right?
Of course.
And she admits it, right? So she publicly admits like, hey, I was horrible on this set, right?
Mm-hmm.
They jump on her. Gabbie Hanna's lying. This is what she really did. She said she was a bitch.
Frustrating.
It's
my
so
video,
insane.
My whole point of my video was, so basically I was just had to break everything down because I had to show what Trisha was doing to me. But because she's best friends with these people, I was afraid to talk about that aspect of the story without first addressing what they had done. So my problem with that wasn't that I was a bitch on set, because I apologized to them on set, in text after. And then after that, we're friends for like a year. They do collabs on my channel. They're coming to my music launches and we're friends. Yeah. And then as soon as it was popular to hate me, they started throwing me under the bus.
That's how it goes.
Making videos. So they kept doing it. And then they were telling other people like, oh, we're going to release live mic feed, live video footage. And it was like this anxiety that was following me all the time. It's like, dude, you're holding me to a standard of somebody who I'm not. In the past,
there are far too many people online who don't have enough real life experience.
Yeah.
Who think that everything they see on the internet is just how humans operate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you really fucking think about it, you could take any person on the planet. I don't care how fucking good they are, how great
Everyone's
they are, how
a
perfect
nightmare
they are.
sometimes.
No, 100%.
Everyone.
If you spend enough time with somebody, you will have at least one negative thing to say about them.
Of course.
But
You know
my
what I'm saying?
point
And
of
when
the
it becomes
video,
trendy and popular to say those things, it all comes out at the same time.
Yo,
It's like,
I think it's so funny when the internet's canceling you for one thing and all these people come out of the woodwork and they're like, oh yeah, I met him once at a fan meetup and he was a piece of shit. Like, it's so
But what's
funny.
frustrating is like nobody's actually listening to me. So like I make this video where I'm basically saying like I was a terrible person on set. I feel so bad about it. I was such a bitch. I was such a nightmare. And that's why I apologized multiple times. They accept my apology. However, I think now that we're in the past and they were my friend, I think it's fucked up that they continue to threaten me and continue to post videos and talk shit about me. Can we like take a moment to acknowledge that maybe this is also toxic? And then instead of that has like what 400,000 views on it, they put out videos where they're like, she's a liar. She was such a nightmare on set. She was such a bitch. Here's all the ways she's a bitch. And it's like, I already said I was a bitch. And then those videos have 4 million views. Yeah. So it's like now everybody just thinks I'm this like toxic liar who can't like take accountability when I feel like I'm the only person who's actually
every time somebody's been trying to cancel me and someone like then there's a pile on and someone makes a video and they get like millions and millions of views jumping on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, bro, I just got like 4 million views on another channel talking about nothing about me. Like, dude, you just want people to talk about you. That's the internet.
I don't like it.
Good or bad.
But, dude, you don't believe me when I say this. I'm interested to know.
You don't process it the same way.
Exactly. So I told Keem this the other day, and he does not believe me
I just want people to talk about me. I don't care.
But dude, I don't want to be famous, and you don't believe me when I say that. But like, I genuinely don't. And he's like, you got to do this. You have to do this for clout. I'm like, I don't want to be famous. I want to pay my bills making music.
Yeah.
It's all I need. I don't want to be my dream would be to like disappear, produce and write for others, release under an anonymous project, and be a painter. Like that's what I want to do.
Gabby's lying. She wants to be famous.
I believe you. I do believe you.
Because you get it.
I do. I do get it.
I just want peace, dude. And just like,
I agree.
We're so lucky when you think about how
incredibly lucky.
We get to just do what we want for a living and pay our bills. Like we're comfortable. Like, what more do you need? Like there becomes a point where a dollar amount, it goes up and that doesn't matter. Are you happy? Do you have peace? Like I can't have a fucking healthy relationship because my life is toxic and dramatic.
That's what I'm saying.
I want that.
You're so on point. I was just having this conversation. It's like, do you know how fucking it's torture, man, to look out at a beautiful view and to have a beautiful house and to have everything you could have ever dreamed of having when you started at zero. You had no connections. You did it all yourself. You should be proud of it. You know what I mean? It's almost easier to fucking be a dreamer and be like, well, you know, I'd be happier if only I had a house or if only I had a nice car or if only I had fucking a beautiful girlfriend. And then you have all that shit and you're still unhappy and it's like, fuck, man. Like, it's I didn't even cliche. It really, it's so.
I didn't even know that I was unhappy. I really didn't know I was unhappy, but I guess was unhappy. Made some big changes in my life. Got a new fucking girlfriend. I'm super fucking happy now. Dude, I'm running shit. I'm running the fucking internet.
Pod. Take that out.
Put what in the pod?
That sentence.
What pod?
Kind of mean to your ex.
No,
she's cool.
She's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're on the same page.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, we haven't caught up about that aspect of it.
No, they have a kid together and they're like very much like, you know, on the same page.
My ex-girlfriend, the mother of my child, right? Excellent person, like literally still my homie, right? We share a house together, so my kid still is with both of us, and then we all both have.
Which is awesome.
I gave her her own house so she can go date, and you know what I mean, have her own space. I got my own house. Like there's 3 houses together. Like it's like
you're
it's
still
good.
providing. You're not like throwing her out on the fucking street. It's not like this like thing where
she is not the happiest she could be. Yeah. I was not the happiest I could be. Right. And now I'm like super fucking happy. Yeah. You know,
she'll get there too.
Which is better for all of you involved.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot the main point of this. What were
you
we?
were like, I'm so fucking happy.
So I was just imagining like being an ex and then there being a podcast out where it's like, I'm so much happier.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, that sucks.
Dude, my ex-girlfriend is absolutely great. Best mother ever. Melissa, I'll always love her. You know,
and you said that privately.
It's really that. Yeah.
Of course.
Always
Sorry,
love
go
her.
on. You're so happy.
I don't know the whole point, but the thing is, it's like sometimes you need change in your life, right? Sometimes if things get dull, and even if you're a lucky, successful person, sometimes you need something different. You need something that like really drives you and makes you to, and that's why I love having enemies. Like that's a huge driving. Enemies are fucking great, dude.
I think we're more on the same plane.
This
we just want to chill, dude.
Enemies are fucking great. I don't want to chill. I'm just trying to win.
Enemies are exhausting. It'd be nice if my enemies. I was going to say something so mean.
But isn't it fun? Okay, it is fun to go out and play pickup basketball. It is fun to play checkers. It's fun to play a card game. It's fun to compete against another person. And an enemy is a giant competition.
Yeah, but when
it's a game.
When
you play a board game with your homies and someone flips the fucking table and like you don't you don't speak to them for 2 weeks over fucking Scrabble, then is it fun?
There's no
For me, it's
sportsmanship to
not.
lying and manipulating and trying to ruin somebody's life.
No
Like you try to get me to take a selfie today with somebody who I'm like, no, she's literally trying to ruin my life, dude.
But
like, it's
this is what I do.
personal.
I take the things that would like fuck a normal person up, and I like turn it into a game, right? And if you can take these horrible things, with like Ethan Klein is trying to ruin my life. He's trying to deplatform me. He's trying to like get me gone.
Wait, hold on. I need some history lesson. Who tried to ruin whose life first? Like, I don't know the origin
I'll tell you in 1 second, but let me finish this point, right? So
Such a bad point. Anybody listening, do not take this advice.
I take this massive, like, millions of people talking shit and like this big war, and I turn it into a game, and I am winning the fucking game. And it's fun. It's fun to compete. It's fun to win.
A minute. Do you remember April when I was popping off on everybody?
Yep.
I was like, I'm going to be
on
the
that
fucking
Rachel Oakes
villain.
bitch.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Everyone's allowed to call me a bitch. If I say the word bitch, I'm like a misogynist. I'm punching down. I'm like, okay, so everyone's allowed to call me a bitch and a stalker and a psychopath and like all this shit. But if I call a bitch, like you're a bitch.
Yeah.
Period. But like, I'm a
in
terrible
2021
person.
too. It's like all these mental gymnastics and people fucking hang on to words so heavy.
Dude, get the fuck out of your own cunt if you care that much about semantics. Get off the internet.
It's craziness,
For real. Everybody
man.
tells me you're so sensitive. Get off the internet. But if I respond to anybody who's literally been lying about me for 2 years, then I'm.
It's like that gotcha shit. Like a gotcha. Look what you just said. Gotcha. It's like, dude, come
you're
on.
dying to finish. Go ahead.
But if you really want to know how the me and Ethan beef started,
I do,
okay,
badly.
so if anyone knows me in real life, or forget the internet, if there's no cameras running, like I'm a genuine person. I like talking to people. I like making new friends. I like fucking having conversations. I'm sociable, right? Ethan invites me on his podcast. I'm the third person to ever be on the H3H3 podcast. I fly all the way to LA. I get there. I meet Ethan, right? Dab him up. We start talking. We're not even on the show. We're having fun. Give Hila a hug. We're talking. We go on the show. We're having fun. You know, he's making like, oh, so you're the most hated person on the internet. He's not being a dick to me. Like I was and still am probably, right? And so the whole thing was great. Even after the podcast, we're like chomping it up like friends and like having a good conversation. I get back to Buffalo. I fly all the way from LA back to Buffalo. The podcast airs and he starts getting some hate on the video because I'm on and I'm controversial. So he then snakes me and plays to the audience saying, hey, I understand a bunch of you guys hate Keemstar. I hate Keemstar too. And I was like, I was just face to face with this. What? Say that to my face. We can talk about it.
All these people with me. What's wrong with these weird ass, fake ass people?
That's what
It's
started
so
the
weird.
entire fucking beef with me and Ethan. He's a snake. He snakes so many of his friends. PewDiePie. I can't forget the other guy's name. Oh yeah.
I have a theory.
They're not friends?
Well, no. When PewDiePie had a fuck up.
Yeah,
he live stream and he said some fucking whack shit.
I remember.
And Ethan overnight went from being up his ass and just also again being a fucking crazy hypocrite, dude. This guy again. I said
Ethan's a clout chaser.
Oh, yeah, I know. I already know.
This motherfucker, dude. This motherfucker on his own platform dropping hard R's, homophobic slurs, like crazy
100%,
shit, like out of pocket crazy shit because he's pandering to iDubbbz and his audience. He's got his neck deep in iDubbbz ass.
Yeah. Are they still friends?
I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
He's like the typical like LA clout chaser.
Dude,
I mean,
100%,
the whole thing with Trisha was
studio.
Yeah,
I hate this city
rather than run around sucking TikTokers' dicks and fucking, he just does it in his own way.
Yeah.
I have a theory on the fake bullshit that comes with all these fucking social media people. We have been conditioned to over exaggerate our thumbnails and our titles and like just mini lie throughout the whole thing. Fake it as much as you can with still getting away with it. Everyone does it. And the people who are really true to this YouTube shit do it for a living. And if they do it well, they get rewarded financially
dude,
and by their views. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just one of those things, man. It's all a big fucking game. It's all a big
Dude,
like.
you want to hear like the psychology of it?
Yeah.
Do you know what Pavlov's dogs are?
I don't.
So basically there was way back in like the beginning shit of psychology, this guy was trying to learn this thing called classical conditioning. So long story short, he has all these dogs. And every time he feeds them, he rings a bell.
Yep.
So
I have heard.
Right. So by the end of it, he rings the bell and they're salivating and there's no food. So then it moves on to like training rats. And now it's like, okay, if you want the food, you hit the button. So then the rat, when they're hungry, they go hit the button, they get food. And then when they don't, there's this thing called extinction where they basically go crazy. And the rats will hit it and no food comes out. So then they hit it again and no food comes out. And then they start banging the shit out of it. Like, where is it?
Yeah.
And then they get a little bit back. And then it strengthens the bond worse. So with YouTubers, it's like, okay, we hit the bell. Okay, we're going to do this thumbnail. We're going to do this stunt. We're going to cry on camera, whatever.
Yeah.
Rewarded. And then views start dropping. Extinction. Bang, bang, bang. How can I make it bigger, better? And then that gets rewarded because they have that one thing that hits. So it's just like this fucking actual psychological, classical conditioning of like, I'm a bad person.
Unhealthy.
I'm narcissistic. I'm
Social media
self-included.
is so
Dude,
unhealthy.
I feel healthy as a horse and I'm trolling everyone. I'm fucking around. Like, I love it. I think it's really healthy.
You are totally built
He's
different.
so built different.
No,
too.
social media can be healthy, right? You just have to stop taking the internet so serious and look at it like a
I missed that
game.
question because I was gonna ask you, like, doesn't it ever get to a point where the criticism and like the hateful comments and stuff, don't you ever just get numb to it?
I'm getting there more recently. Like,
Good.
I would say like in the past, all the videos that I've been putting out, those were filmed a while ago.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how much you know about that, but yeah, I'm definitely getting there. I also am not on it. I have it all off my phone. Like every time I want to tweet, I have to fucking text a girl, like tweet this, and then she tweets it for me.
Cool. That's
But
good though.
It was because it got so personal. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't internet comments. It was like people who were in my home
Yeah. I
working
understand
with
that.
me, like texting me, telling me they care about me, reaching out for support. All of a sudden I find out we're not friends.
Well, that's good though. Because
You know what?
honestly, not even to front or anything, I cannot remember the last time reading like a YouTube comment or a tweet from somebody I didn't know bothered me at all. Like, honestly.
You know what really bothers me is the people that attack you, right? Mostly female audience. They're the most SJW, like woke and mental health and don't bully people.
Exactly.
And they they're such hypocrites
But
with
they
you.
just weaponize
They
that
treat
shit.
you so
But
evil.
like they speak, oh, mental health, we care. And it's like, okay, I'm telling you right now that I have like a lot of shit fucked up with me. I'm just like trying my best. I've literally never not apologized when I do something wrong. Like in private and publicly, I'm always like, oh fuck. Like I've never, if I lie, it's on accident because I also have memory issues. So like, and then I've like, oh, sorry. Like I literally forgot, like my bad. So like, I'm telling you right now, I have mental health issues. I'm telling you that I'm suicidal and you're still going to every day bully me, pile on, lie.
It's fucked up.
And then you're going to get on your platform and be like, mental health matters. Don't bully.
Do you know what's funny?
Fucking crazy.
Nicholas Diorio and a couple of their commentators, right? They have a male audience. They covered some of the Gabbie situation and the reaction was wildly different.
yeah.
They were like,
yeah.
oh, Gabbie's innocent, right? But in this female T audience type of thing, they're like, she's guilty no matter what. Like, it's so insane.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's so insane. And I
It's
don't know what that
because they-
says about us.
I know why though.
as
It's
humans.
because they attached it to like shit that you can't argue against. I literally had a T channel. I should expose that fucking message. I had a T channel tell me like, oh, like, yeah, I never looked into it because I didn't want to argue with a rape victim. I didn't want to go against a rape victim. So it's because this person attached me wrongfully to something that has nothing to fucking do with me. Now you can't argue with her because she's a victim and she's directly talking about rape. So it's if you defend me in any way, you don't believe a victim. And it's like, listen, you can be a victim of rape. That doesn't make you a victim to everybody you hate. You're not a
Right.
fucking victim of me. I didn't do shit to you. It's just so fucking annoying. And eventually people will wake up to that, but like,
Right.
it's just going to take some time.
It is difficult. It's more difficult now than ever just have a simple conversation. Like with
Yeah.
different opinions. It's crazy. People
Yeah, you
feel the need to go to
can't.
fucking war over everything, every little word. It's exhausting, bro.
Yeah. And they pick apart like, well, what did you mean by this? And
Yeah.
like, if you don't remember every single detail of something and everybody's always trying to over explain it, like you saw Jessie Smiles'
Yeah.
first video, what, like she's literally showing every message she possibly can to get ahead of all the weird shit she's done.
Yeah.
So now I have to over explain your over explanation because like my point is you asked me for
Why
a
don't
job.
you just tap out?
I do, dude. I literally didn't respond. Okay, so she puts out this video. I don't respond because I'm like, this is all lies. If people see it, whatever. And then I don't say anything. And she puts out another video. I don't say anything. She puts out the first video the day I'm putting out a huge music video that I've been promoting like crazy, clearly on purpose. And then I'm fucking putting out my EP. And then she puts out another video like a couple days before. And then because of the shit she's doing, now these T channels can literally make up any story they want. So now they're making up stories about I'm disrespecting a murder victim, lost a record deal, lost a brand deal, lost a 20 million views podcast, like all of these situations. I lost huge collaborations with major artists. So I tried not to respond. And it got to a point where it's like, do I have to give up all of my dreams and everything I've ever worked for, which is kind of where I'm at now, finally.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to like fight for what I built. You know what I mean?
Are you ever harassed or fucking like?
Yes.
No,
Oh my
They're
God.
so fucking mean to this girl.
you don't even know what I was gonna ask.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you ever harassed or comments ever made in person?
Yeah.
Like probably, really.
Yeah. It's not
How
very
frequent?
often. It's more so like you can tell. You know what I mean? Like when they're like pointing, looking, like nobody really comes up, but like it's a constant anxiety because I've had like death threats to my doorstep and like emails about
Which is
like
crazy.
yeah, like emails about like where I am and shit like that. So like it gets really crazy like that. But then like when I deleted my social media, they went after my boyfriend at the time. So then he deleted his social media. So then they harassed his family and now our fucking relationship's over because like you have to choose between like the safety and mental health of you and your family versus me because they're so relentless.
Let me say this. If there's any T channels listening, right, my go-to is to make fun of you because you guys don't do research. But I want to try to say something a little different. Can you actually like look into this and have a little bit of mercy? Because anybody outside of this T community that actually takes the time to look at this, they see the T channels as the bad
We've
guys.
been talking about it now for an hour and I still don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Nobody
You know what I'm
does.
saying?
That's the thing.
There's too much.
When
There's
you
too much
ask,
information.
Like I was watching, it was either Edwin's or Nick Diorio's. Somebody had a live stream that I was watching where they were like, okay, but why are you so mad at me for defending Gabbie? And they're like, she's so manipulative. She's such a manipulative, maniacal person. And he was like, okay, what situation did she manipulate someone? And nobody has an answer. So then this girl comes on. She's like, listen, I'm here. I'm very versed on like this whole timeline. And then by the end of the call, like every single thing he said, she was like, but like, explain that. Can you show me some evidence? Like whatever. By the end of the call, she was like, listen, I have to apologize. Like I came in here to defend Jesse and I'm leaving pro Gabbie.
And that's what happens. That's
because
what
nobody knows.
If you can take the emotion and the key words and the woke words and the SJW
Gabbie
words
Hanna
away from it.
buzzwords. Rape apologist, disrespected a murder victim, manipulative, delusional, and then like my old friends, like everybody who came out against me, their buzzword is we were never friends. Like we were acquaintances at best. And it's like,
The T community, the T community audience is literally controlled by these key words, these things that are, oh, that's a bad word.
Yeah.
And they use these labels on you to trick,
Manipulative,
because the
villain.
audience, the T channel audience is really stupid.
Yeah.
Like there's no critical thinking happening, you know?
but who did I manipulate? Nobody knows.
It's true. It's
'Cause I don't even
actually
try,
true.
dude. But and then they're so dumb. They're like, she's a master manipulator. She's so smart. She's manipulative. And it's like, well, she's so dumb. So which one am I? Or it's like, if I'm irrelevant. I can't get views. I'm doing everything for attention. I'm going after all these people for views because I'm irrelevant. But then if I actually respond to them and then they get hate, she's punching down. She's using her platform to bully smaller creators.